Preface. As an archaeologist, accurately recording your findings is a must. One must be careful, however, not to overdo it. One such man has crossed this line. The last year has simultaneously been the best and the worst of my life so far, so imagine my horror when I discovered that my co-pilot on this descent into misery happened to record every last event in a small leather journal. One, I might add, he kept hidden the entire time. As I began to read what he had written about me, I was just about ready to rend his head from his shoulders, with my trusty shovel. As I continued, however, I found myself getting drawn ever deeper into his perspective of all that transpired, and his deepest and innermost thoughts were at the very least interesting, often illuminating and heart-warming. Even though I have forgiven him of this transgression, I must still exact revenge. I have a reputation to uphold after all. Thus I have published the relevant section in this volume. I hope you gain as much entertainment reading it as I did. Yours sincerely, Danielle Jones. P.S. If you see a very handsome young man with long blonde hair and piercing blue eyes, please make sure he does not discover this book. My life may depend on it. Thank you.
April 30th. Okay, I may be blonde, and for humans that comes with certain stereotypes, but that doesn't make me incompetent. Well, I lied about my degree in archaeology, but I learned more about Celtic, Nordic, and European history and artifacts from my father than she'll ever know in her lifetime. My interview for the dig was a disaster, and all because of that woman. Miss Jones, I believe her name was. She was waiting with the museum curator when I arrived. Every inch of her oozed typical, brash, ignorant, and confrontational human. I can easily see why they have become such a plague upon this planet. At least the museum curator apologized for her attitude, so there may be some hope there.
I don't need any help. This is my dig, and I don't need some posh city pretty boy straight out of university floating around doing jack all and taking half the credit.
Were her first words to me. I had merely greeted them with a friendly good morning. Clearly my accent, which I must seriously get rid of somehow, gives the impression that I come from a city area. Kind of ironic really, considering I have really spent the first 157 years of my life living rough in a forest. Actually, come to think of it, my 200th birthday is in a couple of months' time. 2 whole centuries old. I wonder if father would consider me grown now? Probably not, considering he was somewhere around 3,000 years old when I left. I still hear his words now, clear as the bright blue sky.
No one knows what happened, son, and no one ever will. The other towns just upped and disappeared along with him. Drop this curiosity and stay here with us.
Sorry father, I just have to know. Every year some more of us would be killed by the foolish action of these apes that cover every surface of Mother Earth. There is no way I am just sitting on a branch waiting for it to happen to me. Or great mother forbid, my family. Well, no use fretting now. At least the fruits in the market on my way back were delicious. I will definitely go there again should I be passing. Now I guess I shall just have to wait until I hear from the museum. May 1st. I have the job. Turns out the museum curator is actually a pretty nice guy. He phoned me this morning to tell me he had talked it over with that overbearing female and I can attend the dig as long as I have a shovel. Guess that means she'll be the one sitting on her behind doing nothing whilst taking half the credit. The proposed site should be a veritable goldmine for artifacts from the era when most of the Geosulfar disappeared. If I can't find anything left behind by the rest of my race, perhaps the humans knew something? They were aware of our existence at one time, although now they consider it nothing more than a myth. The museum curator will be driving us to the dig site himself on Monday. Apparently it is only 40 minutes by car. I don't drive, so, meh. Guess that means I will have to buy a shovel over the weekend. I'll teach her just how useful a pretty boy can be. May 4th. Nothing much happened over the weekend. I bought that shovel and tested it in the garden. That'll teach her, and help clean around the house. I said goodbye to the landlady and her cats this morning. No doubt I will be back in a couple of months. She promised I will have a room then too. She's not really a commercial landlady. She just let out her spare room to me when she found my worthless self sleeping rough in the rain. Such a kind soul. I'm on the bus to the museum now, fingers crossed, everything will go smoothly. Update. A caravan. A freaking one-person caravan in a field? I thought he was joking at first. I don't mind being in the field, but I'm not spending months on end sleeping on the living area sofa, if you can call it that, more like a bench really. I'm thin, but I'm not that lean. The bed? Of course I let her take it, not that she would have had it any other way. What kind of a man would I be if I made a lady, in the loosest sense of the term, sleep like a common beggar? She insisted on cooking using this horrible looking substance humans call cheese. Never tried it before, it looks disgusting, but it tasted very nice on spaghetti bolognese. She's vegetarian, so at least we will get along on the cooking front. Us Joe so far only eat game that has lived a natural life. Even then we don't eat it often and shoot the weaker ones that would die in the winter anyway. I need to ask her what cheese actually is, but how do I do that without looking like an idiot? Oh well. She wants us up at dawn tomorrow to start digging, so I better get to sleep.